Honorable President, distinguished delegates, I stand before you on behalf of the people of Myanmar, represented by the committee representing Piraungsu Hluttaw, the democratically elected representative of our nations, who continue to uphold the mandate given to us. Today, Myanmar endures one of the gravest humanitarian crises of our time, a crisis not of nature, but of human cruelty. Since the military coup in Myanmar, the junta has waged war against its own citizens. Over 6,800 civilians have been killed, 22,000 arbitrarily detained, and more than 5 million displaced. Entire villages have been destroyed, and airstrikes have targeted schools, hospitals, and places of worship. In addition to the manufactured political crisis, Myanmar has suffered devastating natural disasters, including Typhoon Yagi and the March 2025 earthquake, which claims over 5,300 lives. Despite these tragedies, the military has conducted more than 600 attacks during supposed ceasefire, prioritizing political control over the welfare of its citizens. These actions constitute war crimes and crimes against humanity. The juntas continue to target civilians, obstruct humanitarian access, and weaponizing aid, violating fundamental principles of humanity, neutrality, impartiality, and independence. Under these situations, the planned elections in December further deepen the crisis. These fake elections are an attempt to legitimize military rule. On the other hand, the junta control less than 40% of the territory, while political opponents are imprisoned and the media are silent. Myanmar people clearly reject these illegitimate elections and remain steadfast in their demand for democracy. Honorable President, distinguished delegates, as parliamentarians, we face a test of conscious neutrality in the face of atrocity is complexity. Therefore, I respectfully urge you all to take the following actions: rejecting the military's sham elections, and reaffirm the IPU's recognitions of the committee representing Piraungsu Hluttaw and Myanmar's elected representative as the legitimate parliamentary interlocutor, and demand the immediate and unconditional release of all political prisoners, including our leaders, Daw Aung San Suu Kyi and President U Win Myint, all detained parliamentarians, and demanding immediate and impedient humanitarian access across all territory, and imposing comprehensive sanctions, including arms and jet fuel embargoes, and to support Myanmar's democratic and ethnic stakeholders for a realistic solutions on the current conflict and for a peaceful future. Dear friends and distinguished delegates, let us not allow dictatorships to be disguised as democracy. Let us not allow humanitarianism to be hostage to tyranny. And then let us, with the compassion and convictions for the people of Myanmar and for all those suffering under compassions. And so thank you so much for your kind attentions, and thank you so much for your solidarity with the people of Myanmar and our fight for democracy and freedom. Thank you.
And fellow parliamentarians, thank you for the opportunity to address in this important section. And around the world, the millions of people are suffering amid the armed conflicts, and nowhere is more visible than in Myanmar. And since the illegal military coup in 2021, the people of Myanmar have endured relentless violence, displacement, and humanitarian catastrophe. Over 3.5 million people have been displaced, and more than 19 million are now in need of urgent humanitarian assistance. But military still continue atrocities and violence. And up till now, there are more than 3,744 times of airstrikes. And it includes the artillery shellings, up to the 7,175 times of the aerial attacks, especially for the civilians. in the civilians area, and 129 hospitals and medical centers affected, and the 374 schools, and the 576 religious buildings. So more and more displaced people in Myanmar. And yet, humanitarian assistance access remain dangerously restricted. And 8 convoys, even the WFP vehicles are blocked, and humanitarian workers are arrested, and the medical and food supplies are deliberately targeted. And this is a grave violation of international humanitarian law and of the fundamental principle of humanitarian principle, humanity neutrality, and especially the impartiality. And for Myanmar, the challenge is not only to deliver aid, but to restore a political environment where humanitarian principles can exist. The legitimate representative of Myanmar people, that is the Parliament of Myanmar CRPH, and the National Unity Government, continue to cooperate with the international humanitarian partners and actors to ensure the impartial assistance reaches all civilians in need, regardless of territory or affiliation. And we ask all the parliamentarians and IPU community to stand with the people of Myanmar to recognize and engage with legitimate democratic institutions and to ensure that humanitarian aid is not used as a weapon of war. Let us reaffirm that humanity must come before politics, and that the protection of life and dignity in conflict zone is a shared parliamentary responsibility. And I would like to take an opportunity in this section. I would like to thank the Malaysia ASEAN Chair because the ASEAN Chair is trying to have the effective humanitarian assistance for the Myanmar people in difficulties. And we will hold an inclusive humanitarian forum very soon, and they will establish the humanitarian assistance coordination body in Myanmar to facilitate the humanitarian assistance and to increase the assistance inside the Myanmar by the cross-border assistance, which can overcome some difficulties of restrictions for the effective humanitarian assistance in Myanmar. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mayor Amar.